Gemini, thanks for visiting. This is your reading for February the 4th to February the 10th. And if you like this reading, please like or subscribe, leave a comment if you would like to. As I always ask you, I don't mind, I'm just happy for you to be here. And the other thing is I've got my attachment from my microphone to my camera, so hopefully it's improving. I've been playing it back to myself and it's been sounding fine, but again the other one sounded fine to me, so I don't know. Let me know what you think. I really hope you can hear me this time. If it's still having problems, I don't know what I'll do. I'll have to think of something else, but I'm not going to say any more about that. I'm just going to get on with this reading. So the first card you have for your past is the Eight of Cups. Yes, so obviously this is the card of walking away, enough is enough, I'm walking off, all of that. I'm getting a feeling of being strung along, actually, being led along. I think someone might have promised you something, or maybe they hinted that something would happen if you waited, but I think they promised. I think it was more than hinting. It was probably both. I think that they might have said something like, you know, if you're patient, this will happen, or I'll do this for you, or something is going to happen. It's something like that. And I think after a while you realise that nothing was going to happen. There was nothing in these promises. They were all empty promises. You know, it was like someone telling you there's a pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. All you need to do is walk across the rainbow and you'll get to the end. And then, you know, when you get to the end, you see that there's nothing there. So maybe you just spent a lot of time waiting for this, hoping for this. But you know, it wasn't just hope. It wasn't just like this false hope. It was that, you know, this was promised to you. This was promised to you. So it was unfair. This was promised to you, and you know, this person knew that they couldn't do whatever it was, or they couldn't give you whatever this was. So you know, I think after you came to this realization, I think, you know, you just moved on, like the man on this card. You moved on physically anyway. And I think that while you were trying to move on, they might have still been trying to promise you things. You know, come back. I mean, we can still do this. I can still do this for you. Don't walk off. I mean, there's still time. I've just had some problems, but I can do it. You know, that kind of thing. And I think for a long time you wanted to believe these promises. Even in the face of reality, even you could see this reality was there, that it wasn't happening, but you just wanted to believe this. You really, really just wanted to believe that this would happen and this person would do what they were saying. But, you know, and then I think it just became so obvious after a while that none of this was real, that you just had to move on. There was nothing else to it. You just had to. Sorry about that noise. I've got building going on outside once again. So, you know, I think for a long, long time when you're with this person, you might have even hidden a lot of what was happening from family or friends. But then I think when it was becoming really obvious and you were getting kind of fed up with them and upset with them, and you realised these were all kind of empty promises, you might have then started to tell people just to get some help, just to get some advice, just to have someone to kind of lean on around this. And you know, and then I think after you told people, there was no going back. Once they were kind of around you saying, you know, don't go back to them, don't do that. I think you should move forward. You can't go back after they've done this and that. And so then you couldn't go back after that. You just had to move forward. And it was like it was too late. And you didn't want to anyway. But I think the fact that you told people and you opened up really gave you kind of almost like it was giving you permission to move forward, to move away from them. So the next card you have for your past is the Three of Wands. So I've been seeing this in your readings for a long time. I think I've been seeing this before, and I'm seeing it again here, obviously. So this is the Waiting card, and I'm just looking at both of these cards, this and the Eight of Cups, kind of together, and I'm kind of looking at them both. And I think this person might have been hopeful even then that you'd still, you know, that you'd come back. I'm seeing them watching, I'm seeing them waiting, and there's a wall of cups in the Eight of Cups card, but there's a gap in that wall between the cups. It's like a cup's missing and it's kind of forming a window. I'm just seeing them looking through this window and watching you. I think they might have been watching what you were doing, maybe on social media, maybe somewhere else, I don't know. It was something like that. And yeah, this card, the Three of Wands, is the card of waiting. So maybe this was the kind of person who would overpromise and not be able to deliver. Maybe they wanted to give you what they promised in the beginning, because I'm seeing a lot of genuineness in the beginning. They really did care about you. They really did probably want to give you this thing or do this thing for you. And I think maybe when they realized that they wouldn't be able to do whatever this was or live up to these promises, they started being a bit dishonest or hiding things. And I think once they started a lie, they had to do another one to hide that one and another one to hide that one. And then it kind of just spiraled out of control. There are a lot of other problems you were having in your relationship as well, I'm seeing. It wasn't just that, but this was a big thing I'm seeing here. So, but you know, the man on this card, he's looking out over the sea, and it's a golden sea, and it's a golden sky. So I think they were realizing that, you know, what they had with you was valuable, was golden. And they probably never admit this to you or anyone else, but I think this is how they were feeling. Maybe they are still feeling about like that about you. They knew that they had value with you. They knew that they had something very special with you. And they probably still do think that. They probably still are thinking that. Yeah, the last card you have for your past is the Two of Swords. So, yeah, even though they were thinking that, I don't think you take this person back. Even if they did come up to you and admit this to you and say, oh, look, I wanted to promise this to you, it just got out of control, I didn't know, I couldn't help it, I'm sorry, I didn't mean it. Even if they came and told you all this, I think, you know, you'd still be saying no. This woman's arms are forming a cross over her heart, so she's saying no over her heart. And, you know, nobody would be able to get close to her anyway with the way she's holding these swords. So I think, you know, also too much has happened between you while you were with them, and I think since you had this separation from them. And I also think, I'm also seeing your families in this. I think your family, some people in your family really stood by you. They were giving this support. They were seeing in the Three of Wands. In the Eight of Cups was one of them. Yeah, I think I was seeing that in the Eight of Cups. But yeah, some of these family members stood by you. They were advising you. They were helping you. And I think your families might have also been involved in this relationship in some way. I'm seeing two sides, two groups of people, and they'll probably never come together. They probably had arguments between them. I think probably on your side you had people supporting you, and on their side they probably had family supporting them, and a lot of arguments, a lot of problems, a lot of disagreements were going on, I think, between these two families. That's what I'm seeing. So I think even if they wanted to come together with you, and even if you were willing to talk to them, which I don't see you are, they'd still have a lot of other problems, which would be your families. That's what I'm seeing. The first card you have for your present is the Ace of Pentacles. So obviously this is a fantastic card. I love this card. So I think that since that time, since that separation, I think you're able to build up some kind of stability for yourself, a stable life for yourself, a more stable life. And again, I'm seeing family around you. So you might have some family support. Not everyone in your family is supportive, but there are some that are. And, you know, the ones who you're closest to, obviously, are the supportive ones. And I think you might have actually... moved on to someone else, a new love, maybe. I don't know if this is... I don't know if this person from your past knows this. I don't think they do, actually, because I think they still might be trying to hold out some hope for you. And I think also this ex might have tried to move on as well. They might have tried to see other people, but I don't think anything serious has come from any of these relationships with them. But yeah, sometimes aces can be about opportunities or the potential of something, the potential of things to come. So maybe this love connection that you have now, this newer one, might just be the beginning or in the early stages. But yeah, motorbike, go away. But yeah, if you have the Ace of Pentacles, this means that this has the potential to become something really, really solid and really stable. So this is looking really good for this new relationship. And, you know, I think you'll know that. I think you know that. I think you can sense that, actually. There's also a lot of passion between you, which can also be indicating that, this is the early stages in a relationship. I mean, sometimes there's usually a lot more passion in the beginning of a relationship. I mean, sometimes passion lasts, and I hope it does. But a lot of the time, the early stages are the more passionate stages. But anyway, that's really good. I really hope this is resonating for you, because you do deserve this good relationship after everything you've been through. You do deserve this. The next card you have for your present is the Ace of Wands. So yes, passion, action, 2 aces. This is looking fantastic. I'm actually seeing a lot of people around you as well. And I think you might be really trying to work on something, really making an effort for something, but this is an enjoyable thing. This is something you love doing. I think this is something you've always been quite passionate about, and I think this is something that you might have had to stop doing for a while, because I think when you were getting out of this old situation, when you were separating from this ex, I think you probably needed every resource that you had to just survive, really. Maybe you really had to kind of dig yourself out of a hole, obviously an emotional hole, but maybe even a financial hole. You had a lot going on, and that meant that you were just treading water. You were just trying to keep your head above water. And of course, at that time, you weren't able to do any extra things, any of these fun things. But I think now that things have improved for you, they're not perfect, of course, but they've improved. I think you might have taken this up again. And this is something that you love. This is something that's a part of you. And I think this actually might be something creative. But you've gotten yourself back there. You've gotten yourself back to this point where you're able to do this again. And this is something that you've done yourself. So congratulations to you for getting yourself out of this hole and back to this point again. And I'm really seeing a lot of excitement, a lot of enthusiasm around this particular thing. And yeah, again, I'm seeing a lot of people around you. So I think maybe you might be at work or somewhere where there are a lot of people. I'm seeing you talking to a lot of people, might be a party even. You're talking to people about this, and it's like you're so enthusiastic, you can't stop talking about this. And I think you might be inspiring other people by what you're saying. I think some other people might be wanting to do what you're doing. Not exactly what you're doing, but you might be inspiring people to do something just for themselves, something fun, something creative. So I'm getting this, I'm getting this really nice feeling around this, and I think you're inspiring people and you're being a positive force for other people. So this is fantastic. So yeah, the last card you have for your present is the 3 of Cups. So yeah, again, it could have been in a party you're at where you're talking to all of these people. Yeah, this can be about parties, celebrations. It can also be about third parties sometimes, but I'm not seeing that. It can be about a lot of things, but I think this might be another card showing me stability around this new relationship, as well as growth as well. These 3 women are dancing around their fruit, pumpkins, grapes, oranges, everything. And it's like they're celebrating a harvest. Everything's come to harvest. Everything's ripe and it's ready. Everything's ready, all the fruit's ready. So they're dancing around on the ground. They're dancing around on the earth, which represents stability. But also this earth's really fertile because all of this fruit has come out of this earth. And they're drinking wine, which is made from grapes that probably came out of this earth as well, this rich soil. So, of course, wine ages and it's at its best after many years of fermentation. And, fermentation is a sort of a magical thing as well. It's a magical process when you think about it. Grapes turning into wine, becoming better after many years with age. So I think that this relationship has a lot of potential, again, for growth. But also for stability, and it's fertile. A lot of things are going to grow, and this is going to get better as time goes on, like wine. And I know I keep on saying this, but I really, really hope this is resonating with you because this is looking so beautiful. This is like things are going to become better as time goes on, as the years go by. This is fertile ground. It's stable, but it's also fertile. A lot is growing out of this. and you're going to have a lot of growth. And if you want to, you might have children. So this is an abundance. This is a really fantastic card for you in this relationship. So the first card you have for your future is, yes, the Five of Swords. So yes, I'm getting this feeling of being able to see past someone, or being able to see past what a lot of other people can't see. I'm seeing family around this. I'm seeing, yeah, a family situation. So you might be getting together with family, because I'm seeing a group, and I'm seeing someone using their words, using their wit in this family gathering. And they always do that. They get together with family and they're always the one to kind of make jokes and say things. But I think this person can go a bit too far sometimes. They really annoy you, actually. That's what I'm seeing in this card. And I think a lot of people around them either play along with them, or they laugh along, or they just don't say anything. Nobody calls them up. No one says anything about their behavior. But they go too far. That's what I'm seeing. They take their jokes too far. And a lot of the time, this is at the expense of other people. And you might have been on the receiving end of this before, I think. And I don't know if this event or this family group, or whatever, this family gathering, I don't know if this has actually happened or not. This is in your future, so you might be anticipating this happening in your future at some time. And you might be thinking about this, you might be stressing, you might be thinking, if they say that, I'll say this. If they do that, I'll walk off. If they say that, I'm not going to put up with it. So this is kind of bringing you a lot of stress thinking about this. But I think when the time comes, when this event comes around, I think you will be walking off, actually. I think, like the two men on this card, I'm not seeing you storming off. I'm not seeing you causing any drama or wanting to cause any drama, but I think you might be leaving early, or you might be doing something like that. I think this might actually be the end of you spending any time around them at all. I think this is it. This is it. And I'm just seeing them. Yeah, I'm just seeing they're going to be at this gathering, this group. They're going to be doing the same thing, doing the same old thing they always do, going a bit too far with what they say. It's just going to be enough. And they've come, you've come so far after getting away from this old love connection, from this ex, with all these empty promises. And I think you're just going to be thinking to yourself, life's too short to spend around people like that who make me feel bad. I don't want to do this anymore. And you're right. You're right if this resonates, and you're just going to say goodbye, and that will be the end. I don't think you'll even see them again, ever again. That's what I'm seeing. The next card you have for your future, motorbike, is death. Death to the motorbike. Yeah, so again, this is it for you. This is it for this person. You are not, death is final. You're not going to talk to them again. You're not going to see them again. That is it. You're putting an end to this. You're putting an end to spending any time around this person. It might even be that if they're invited to something that you're invited to in the future, you're going to say no to it. That's how serious this is. And again, this isn't about you causing drama. You don't want them to come to and apologize to you. You don't want to make things better with them and come back to how it was. You just don't want to see them again. You want peace. You want to be by yourself. You want to be away from this. And you just want to be able to live your life in peace without that sort of negativity in it. And I think some people might come and say to you, oh, don't you want to come to this thing? Don't you want to talk to them? Why not? And you're just going to say, no, I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to get into it. I don't want to turn this into he said that, she said that, they said that. No, I'm not going to talk about this. I just don't want to go to this. That'll be it. Very determined. You're just going to draw a line under this, and that will be it. That's what I'm seeing. So the last card you have for your future is the Page of Cups. So yeah, the pages can be messages about messages, and I am seeing a message in this card. I'm seeing a tiny message. This is either a message of love, or it's a message of friendship, I think. And I think this is going to come from someone who you haven't heard from for a long, long time. It might be coming from this ex, because I was seeing that they were, and maybe they still are, thinking about you, hoping for things with you. But don't stress, it might not be coming from them. And even if it is, I'm not seeing any threats, I'm not seeing any problems. This is just a little tiny message just saying, hey, how are you, or something. And it might be on a DM on social media or something like that. It might, this might be a friend actually. And I think if you choose to keep on communicating with this person after this initial contact, there might be some kind of an apology coming from them as well. So this is probably someone who you drifted away from. I'm not saying falling out, but I think you might have drifted away from them, and I think there was a reason why you did, obviously. But I think they're going to make contact, and I think if you answer them and if you keep up this communication, eventually they're probably going to want to smooth things over with you about whatever this was that made you separate from them. That's what I'm seeing. But don't be afraid. There's no threats, there's no problem. I am seeing it probably as a friend now, but there's no threat around this. It's okay. So Gemini, I hope this resonated, but as you know, general readings can't always resonate with everyone. But again, if you liked this reading, please subscribe if you'd like to. Thank you so much for watching.